Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Lou, and in today's video of Superpowers Explained, I want to talk about the power known as intuitive aptitude. Now, if you've been watching my series and you've watched a couple episodes back when I discussed the power of adoptive muscle memory, think of this as the other side of that coin. And with all that being said, let's just jump right in. Intuitive aptitude, it simply breaks down is it gives the user the ability to instantaneously understand the workings and mechanics of anything, regardless of how simple or how complex it may be. I think of it in terms of where with adoptive muscle memory, it's all physical. This is all of the mental aspect. It's like you read a manual and you instantly know how it works, or let's say for instance, you see a surgical procedure or you witness a surgical procedure and you understand what goes into the steps behind that surgical procedure. Think of it as the technical manual of powers, I would say. I really find it interesting, and the reason why I think it's the other side of the coin, because with adoptive muscle memory, like we discussed previously on this channel, you only gain the ability or the physical aspects of whatever, such as archery, martial arts, acrobatics, everything of that nature. Whereas this ability, it's more of just on the mindscape. To me, it's a very interesting power, just for the simple fact that it allows you to just understand. And I feel like, especially in today's world, there's a lot of misunderstanding going around. Don't mean to get all angsty about it, but I believe this power is very interesting because it allows you to understand pretty much anything. But there are some caveats, and I want to go ahead and get into those really quick. With any superpower, there are limitations, and some of the limitations on this are pretty scary, or at least to me, some are pretty scary. The limitation is you can remember information, or you can understand information, but you might forget other things. So this could be, the range could be huge. It could be in regards to, you might forget childhood memories, you might forget your first kiss, you might forget, I don't know, your password to your computer. Like it's a possibility that the more information you gain with this power, the less you remember about your own life, which is kind of like similar to what we talked about with adoptive muscle memory in the previous episode. So it's kind of a really big caveat when you gain this ability. The limitation of this ability is that you may understand logical things, but when it comes to illogical things, you don't have a grasp on it. You won't be able to understand things. And I think of in regards to magic. If any show or any movie or any comic book or anything you've seen where they have a magical system, with this power, you might not necessarily be able to understand how it works, because for you that might be inherently illogical. And this power is very hindered by the illogical aspects of life and power systems. So you won't be able to just instantaneously learn magic. Great, but there's a character on the show called Heroes. His name is Sylar, and his initial power, spoilers, his initial power was this, intuitive aptitude. And with this power, he became obsessed with understanding how other powers worked, how people ticked. He was a watchsmith? I don't know. Watch the show, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But he became obsessed to the point where it caused him to do some pretty dark things. I won't go into detail. I don't want to spoil you too much. If you haven't watched the show, I really urge you to watch at least the first season. Second season, third season, okay. But first season, you got to watch it. I think they knocked out of the park that first season. And with that, I want to segue into some of the characters who actually have this ability. So I already mentioned Sylar from Heroes. He has this ability, but quite a few characters I didn't even realize had this power, and I just want to get into that real quick. Characters such as Kal-El or Clark Kent or Superman from DC Comics, Deathstroke or Slade Wilson from DC Comics, Ben Tennyson from Ben 10, which is outrageous to me. You have Danny Fenton or Phantom from Danny Phantom, also outrageous to me. Other characters include Yujiro Hanma. I swear, Yujiro Hanma has been surprisingly engaged in like all these lists. And every time I look up powers and I research these powers, he's on like a large majority of these lists. So I understand why he has Black Air Force energy now. The guy's just disgusting. But I digress. Some other characters would include Billy Cranston from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Captain America from Marvel Universe, and Kraven the Hunter from Marvel Universe. With super soldiers, as you probably guessed, most of these characters have super soldier powers, or abilities, they innately have this ability where they can instantaneously understand how things work. And I don't think Captain America has showcased it nearly enough in his movies, but I can understand him having it. He's essentially the perfect man. Anybody out there who has ever read a manual or who's ever had to put together anything from IKEA, this power would be a godsend. It is such a pain in the ass to be sitting at home and trying to put something together and reading this, hieroglyphics in a sense, and trying to place it together. I feel like with this power, I would just be a scholar. Me personally, I just love to read, and I feel like with this, I would digest information so much faster. Maybe losing some precious memories wouldn't be so bad, at least to me, because some memories aren't worth keeping. You might disagree, but it is what it is. But for me, I think this is a banger. It's a total great power, and I would love to have it in conjunction with adopted muscle memory. But if I didn't have that, if I couldn't have both, I would just take this one overall. So I want to go ahead and get to my overall scores, as well as my best and worst user for this ability. Daily use, for me personally, I think I would have used this quite a bit, especially in regards to like editing and learning new techniques and learning how just the system works, as well as like other things like, I don't know, languages or just mechanical things I would just like to learn. And if you can gain a degree within like a couple hours or multiple degrees in a couple hours, you wouldn't have any excuse. You would have to abuse this power. At least I would see no other way around it. Yeah, 8 out of 10 for daily use. Yes, 8 out of 10 for daily use. Creativity, for me, I don't feel you can be super creative with it. I guess you could, because if you have the versatility of learning different subjects at an accelerated rate and understanding them completely, yeah, I feel like you can be pretty creative. You can learn computer science, you can learn medical techniques, medical terminology, you can learn, I don't know, just everything. You can learn everything, even with all the caveats. Probably a 7 on creativity. Versatility, probably going to be the same score. For me, versatility with this power it goes hand in hand with creativity, so I don't see it going any lower than a 7, at least for me, because I just honestly, the sky's the limit. There's so much information out there. There's so many things that you can learn that you would have no excuse but to like take it on. So yeah, it's gonna get another 7 for me for versatility. Destructive capability, or DC, 0. There's nothing I need to say about it. What can you really do? All that being said, let's go with the overall score. I cannot see it getting any lower than probably a 7 as well. It couldn't go lower than a 7 for me. I feel like it's a really good power, especially if you have it in conjunction with adopted muscle memory. So yeah, it's gonna get a 7 out of 10 for me in overall. That being said, let's just jump right into the best and the worst user of this power. To me, bar none, there is no better user of this ability than Sylar from Heroes. He's the one who introduced me to this power. He's the one who displayed it to its utmost. He has done so many cool things with this power, with just this power alone, that there's nobody else that could compete. I don't care. Even on the list I wrote out, there's nobody else I can think of that can compete with him. That includes characters like Slade Wilson, even Yujiro Hanma. And for people who know me, know I love Yujiro Hanma. But there's no way I can see him competing with Sylar in the way this ability is really used. So yes, Sylar is my gold medalist for this round. Worst user. I can't see anybody worse than these two characters, and that's Ben 10 and Danny Phantom. I don't really understand why they're on the list of people with this ability. Maybe like natural talent, maybe, but even then I'm a little bit skeptical. For me, I just don't see them as the type of characters who could really display this power. At least me personally. Maybe you think differently, and if you do, please let me know in the comment section below. But for me personally, I don't see them really showcasing this ability enough to make them anywhere in the top like 3 characters. So yeah, they're my absolute bronze medalist, or my worst user for this power. That being said, thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching to the very end. Look forward to hearing from you in the comment section below. Once again, if you liked the video, please like as well as subscribe. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you soon. Peace.